Hello guys, welcome to a new video on Tower of God New World, and in this video we're going to review data Urek. I will follow a similar structure as the previous character review videos, and yeah, I will try to keep it shorter because I feel like there is no need to go too in depth into a lot of things. I will just mention the key aspects here and there. So let's just get started by talking about how good this guy is, if he is any good, and how much investment he needs. So basically, this guy uh, is supposed to be a tank, but is actually not. So he's not like a Karaka that is fine with just low dupes. This guy is more like Evankel or Blue Urek because he requires a lot of dupes to stay alive, and his damage potential is actually really, really high. And yeah, he's not a tank again. So kind of disappointed, to be honest. But at the same time, I feel like if you're willing to take him to Orange 4, you will not regret it because this guy can deal a ton of damage. And to me, he's probably more reliable than an Evankel, to be honest. But yeah, we'll just talk about that when we get to the skill. So yeah, this guy is not a unit for free-to-play players, I would say. He's not the tank you just get a few dupes for and just forget. No, it's not the case. So that's unfortunate, but that's how it is. Then let's just go over the skills real quick. Let's start from the passive. The passive is not too bad. It's going to decrease the cooldown of the unstable skill, which is the one that increases his physical resistance, and is also going to get additional defense every 10 seconds. Not that important. Then is active 1 or active 2, I don't know which is the order, but yeah, is one finger attack. This one is just an AoE attack with crowd control, so a knockdown for 2 seconds. Again, not too bad, just additional damage basically, and a little bit of CC. That's it. Then we have the unstable skill, which is the one that gets the cooldown reduced by the passive. And this one is just going to deal AoE damage, knock back the enemies, and then get 80% physical resistance for 10 seconds. This one is important, but the problem is that it's difficult to keep the 100% uptime, so it's not that reliable. And again, if you are faced with opponents that deal magic damage, and there are quite a lot of them, this guy is, yeah, kind of weaker than the normal. So you still want to invest a lot in magic resistance in the ignition weapon. But we're going to talk about that when we talk about ignition weapons. Then we have the special skill, and this skill is really, really good. Like the multipliers at level 5 are 400% 6 times. So it's 2400, which if I'm not mistaken is the same as Evankel. So multipliers are really crazy, and this skill can hit the whole battlefield. So absolutely huge. On top of that, the highest attack enemy that's hit by this skill is going to receive a 20% decrease in physical resistance. Nothing that important, but still nice. And then this guy is going to create barriers for all allies equal to 30% of the damage dealt, which is huge, to be honest. With these multipliers, it's huge. And especially because it hits multiple targets. Obviously, that's a bit of a con if you are against units like Zahard that can deal additional damage based on the how big your shield is. So, okay, you don't want to use this guy against Zahard, but yeah, you know, still a really good shield. And if your barriers are still up after 10 seconds, there is additional damage that's going to be done to the enemy team. So definitely a great special skill. To me, this kit is like meant for DPS for sure. So again, if you can get him to Orange 4, this guy is going to be an absolute monster. Rainbow 5, even better. This guy is just going to delete the whole enemy team. So it's not like I don't recommend him. I just don't recommend him for free-to-play players. If you're willing to invest in him, this guy will be a beast for sure. But yeah, just not for the majority of the people out there. Then let's see the exclusive equipment. I already maxed it, but it's fine. And yeah, level 1, I don't really care too much about this. It's just 20% increase in defense. Okay, fine. Level 2 and level 3 are not too bad. You're going to get a total of 6% of your max HP every second while the barrier is active. I mean, it's not too bad, but it's also kind of useless because you will probably be running this guy with the Bergamot set, and with enough investment, this guy just deals a ton of damage, and you don't really care about the additional 6% HP every second. You'll probably be full HP after a special skill anyway. So, yeah, kind of not that important, but yeah, still nice. Level 4 is what's really, really great. Additional swiftness while the barrier is active is actually quite huge. I mean, 50 is not a small amount. And when you invest a lot in this guy, the barrier is going to be up for a lot of time, unless you are facing specific units like Kuran, Kiseiya, etc. But they're probably dead after your first special skill, especially Kiseiya. But yeah. So, that being said, the exclusive achievement is nothing great, but it's not too bad either. It's just that this unit, again, requires a lot of investment. So yeah, just keep that in mind. Then let's talk about gear. And here it's kind of tricky. Obviously, you want to max slot 4 because he needs the additional survivability. With just this piece alone, he will go over 100% physical resistance whenever he casts the unstable skill. But still, it's not up 100% of the time, so you still want to get some physical resistance rolls here and there in the ignition weapon. And then if you look at slot 3, this one is just evasion. So again, is the usual thing I always say. Evasion is a bit tricky. You want to have a lot more evasion than the enemy accuracy. If you cannot do that, it's basically a random and nothing too important, in my opinion. Then we have crit rate and crit damage. This piece is also quite important if you are investing in data work. If you're not, it's totally worthless. You should not bother with it. And then we have accuracy. Accuracy is again important if you have a lot of investment. Otherwise, slot 4 is just all you need, and maybe a bit of slot 3. But slot 1 and slot 2, if you have no dupes for him, there is no need to invest. But yeah, I will tell you guys that at 3 blue, this guy is useless entirely. Like, it cannot work. So yeah, beware that if you are planning to pull him a little bit, don't, because 3 blue is useless. 3 purple, probably useless again. 3 red, if you have a really good ignition weapon, then it can do something, but I would say orange 4 is where you want to take him. Then let's talk about the ignition weapon. And here, don't look at my set. I'm running him with Doris at the moment, but it's not the best set for him. I would recommend going for Bergamot, so the lifesteal set. And as far as stats go, you want to focus on magic resistance in slot 4 for sure. You want that additional 40%. And to be honest, slot 5 could be physical resistance, but it's probably a little bit too overkill because you already have 30% from the gear slot 4. Then you have 10% from the exclusive achievement if you take it to plus 40. Then you have 80% from the skill. Is kind of overkill. But if you don't have him at orange 4, for sure you want to run the physical resistance piece. If you have him at orange 4, you can swap it out for a physical pierce one and just add the physical resistance in as many substats as you can. But yeah, slot 4 for sure, you want magic resistance, and then below physical pierce, physical resistance, and yeah, the usual crit rate, crit damage, accuracy, stuff like that. The other ones, yeah, the substats are pretty much the ones I mentioned. You want a lot of magic resistance, which I don't have. You want to have physical pierce. You want to have crit rate, crit damage, and stuff like that. So yeah, that's pretty much all for the ignition weapons as well. If you're talking about Rapport, obviously since this guy will fill the role of a main DPS, you want the accuracy node, so there is not much to say here. Just take him all the way up, and probably you already have a lot of these because there are not a lot of units that need this kind of gift. So yeah, just give it to him and it's fine. And I would say, guys, that was all for this unit. I don't want to talk more about him. Just remember, if you are a free-to-play player, you can forget about him. You will have to focus, as usual, on Viol and Zahar. And afterwards, you can think about it. I would say this guy is an option on par, like with Evankel and the blue Urek. So yeah, that's pretty much all there is to this guy. Let me know if you have any doubts, if I forgot to mention anything about him, but I would say that's pretty much all. So thank you guys for watching. If you like this video, please drop a like and subscribe to my channel, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!